Look who's back with us, RNC National Committeewoman for California, former California GOP Party Vice Chairwoman Harmeet Dhillon. Harmeet, it's great to have you back on. Why did Governor Newsom beat the recall in California?
Well, Gavin Newsom did a good job with his Democrat allies, including the president and vice president, of making this recall not about his failed leadership in California, but about people who weren't running, like Donald Trump, and about national issues, what's happening in Texas. So he did a very successful job of distracting the electorate from the real issue on the ballot, which is, should Gavin Newsom keep his job, depending on his performance in the state. So with an overwhelming monetary advantage, and as you mentioned in the lead-in, tens of millions of dollars from big tech companies and other Democrat allies, teachers unions and other unions, he had an advantage that the Republican and Democrat challengers didn't have. They had campaign finance limits. He had no campaign finance limit, and he used every dollar to blanket the airwaves. So with that kind of advantage, you know, that is a huge advantage.
That's interesting, that disparity you just pointed out, that he had no campaign finance limits, because we're talking about George Soros giving Gavin Newsom donations, Facebook, Uber, Walgreens, you know, Netflix. The list goes on, Harmeet. And now you see that, you know, the officials in California moving to shut down. Democrats want to shut down any future recalls permanently, and also enshrine permanently the mail-in ballot structure.
Right. Both of those are problematic to me. I mean, what do you do when you don't like the rules? You try to, you know, change the rules. They don't like the game. He already changed them a couple of times. You know, when Democrats were at risk of losing a Senate seat from a recall, they changed the recall rules. And in this case, he benefited from the anticipated deadline for the recall by moving up by 2 months, so that he was able to run in September and not November, when the situation is likely to be more oppressive with COVID restrictions. Regarding mail-in balloting, you know, we're still tallying the votes and compiling all of the incident reports, but I'm here to tell you that once we've done all of that work, we're going to have several issues to report, and potentially legal issues in court, regarding California's bloated voter rolls, sending ballots to people out of state. Even people who have been asked to be removed from the ballot continue to get ballots, and that's a serious issue. When you couple that with no voter ID and other loose issues, ballot harvesting. So I think it's a cautionary tale for what can happen in other states if they don't take care to make sure that they have tight restrictions on the integrity of their you know, polls, which we don't have in California.
The exit polls still show that people are really upset with the direction of the state under Gavin Newsom and the left's hold on Sacramento and the policies that have been acted. So you see that going on. And you see Democrats are still, you know, even Democrats in the state are still talking about Governor Gavin Newsom violating his own shutdown rules, going maskless in that swanky restaurant. So did Nancy Pelosi in Napa Valley. So did AOC at the Met event. So there's this hypocrisy running rampant through the state of California. How serious are the issues you're finding with mail-in ballots and more? Final word.
There are a lot of issues. I don't want to, you know, prejudge the outcome of this, but you're going to find that there are some serious issues that I think most Americans, regardless of party, would agree need to be resolved.
Harmeet Dhillon, great to have you on. Thanks for joining us. Come back soon.